Hey, what's up? It's William from Rocket Zero, and welcome to this Forza Motorsport 6 DLC video. We're talking about the Turn 10 Select DLC, and it starts with 7 cars, the first one being the 1957 BMW Isetta 300 Sport. Now, it only looks like it has 3 wheels, but it's actually a 4-wheeled car. Italian design, German engineering, has 13 horsepower. How does that even move it? I don't know. But and 14 pounds of torque, only weighs 920 pounds. So that's pretty good. So let's go see what the Forza Vista lady has to say about it.
BMW has a long, storied history, building everything from motorcycles to airplane engines. Because of their roots in aircraft manufacturing, many people believe the classic BMW logo is an airplane propeller. The 4 colored quadrants, however, actually represent the Bavarian flag. Since 1972, the BMW Motorsport division has turned high-end automobiles into high-performance race cars. From then on, M-badged cars were known as high-performance models. The group soon found success in touring car racing. The BMW 3.0 CSL was the most successful touring car of the 1970s. In recent years, BMW has found success at the American Le Mans Series, winning the GT division in 2010 and 2011. Overall, BMW has won 17 European and 4 World Touring Car Championships, showing clearly that race-proven technology is in their DNA. So
this just seems to be the usual BMW line that she speaks. I thought it was going to be something a little bit cooler, because it's a little tiny microcar. It's actually the world's best-selling single-cylinder car. And it gets 94 to 78 miles to the gallon. That is amazing. And look, it does have 4 wheels. It's just 2 little tiny ones in the back. And it's considered a micro car. That's what, like, if you were looking for SUV, sedan, this would be in the micro car section. And look at that. It's just a big park bench in the middle. I have no idea why they put this in the game, because I don't think this is going to handle. It's going to be kind of topsy-turvy with 1 wheel. I mean, 2 little wheels in the back. But it's pretty cool. So here you go. If you want to just putter along, this is the car for you. Let's go check out the next car. Here we have the 2014 Chevrolet number 4 ROAL Motorsports RML Cruze TC1 WTCC, which is the World Touring Car Championship. So yeah, that's a bunch of acronyms that are thrown at you in the description for this car. It's an S-Class with 370 horsepower, 2,425 pounds. Had to take a closer look, so the car seems pretty sporty.
Touring car racing is one of the most exciting and competitive events in motorsport. While the regulations vary from class to class, touring cars have always had one thing in common: brutal, gladiatorial competition featuring plenty of contact and overtaking. Touring cars are historically based on a production model silhouette, with most of the car rebuilt from scratch to be a pure race car. The technology in these cars is state-of-the-art, rivaling top racing series and attracting Grand Prix racers that aren't afraid of a little contact. To keep costs down, some modern touring car championship series feature purpose-built racers that utilize a common chassis and components developed by major manufacturers in direct competition with each other. This makes for very close and exciting racing, with each team using every advantage they can get for the win.
So it seems like you can go up to Chevy and say, hey, I want to buy this race car to make my own team, and they'll sell you the car. That way you don't have to go build it. So they come kind of pre-built for you. So that's kind of cool. If you got a lot of money, go out yourself, buy yourself a race car, buy yourself a pit crew, one of those big transporter things. And I was expecting the hood to pop up, but that was kind of disappointing. So I mean, if you have the money, you can make a race team. Seems pretty straightforward to it, as long as you get all the logistics part to it. But man, look at that wing. That is going to make some downforce. Wonder what McGregor sells. This might be like an alcoholic beverage, and they just put the name of the driver. They did that with Kurt Busch. Not Kurt Busch, but Brad Keselowski in the NASCAR DLC pack. So that's pretty nice. Just a typical S-Class, and it's front-wheel drive. Wish it was rear-wheel drive. That would make it funner. So let's hop in. Maybe start the engine. Where's the start button here? Nope, that's not it. We can start this. Where is it? Oh, it's down here. Let's give it a listen. Honestly, not that impressive. Let's go look at the next car. And here we have the true convertible, the 1980 124 Sport Spider. What a cool name to call a convertible, just a Spider. It makes no sense, but it just sounds awesome. Now let's not take too close of a look at the stats, because this is a car from the 1980s. It's best just to look at it and cruise. Let's go see what the Forza Vista lady has to say about it right now.
Founded in 1899 and inspired by the American Ford assembly lines, Fiat went into full production. The first step was to build the Lingotto factory, the largest factory in Europe at the time, complete with a vehicle test track on the roof.
That's right, you heard that right, a test track on the roof. I'm going to show it to you when she's done talking.
3 out of 4 cars on Italian roads was a Fiat. With the manufacture of tractors, vans, buses, and even aircraft, Fiat has become a symbol of Italian industry. Today, Fiat has a controlling interest in Maserati, Lancia, Alfa Romeo, and Ferrari. Race technology is shared between all these different companies in the quest to build better and faster cars. Fiat has also acquired the Chrysler Group, including Jeep, Ram, Dodge, SRT, and Mopar brands as well. From making small cars for the people to a portfolio of the world's most prestigious automobiles, Fiat is a global player in the automotive world.
That's impressive. So they basically own 1/3 of all the car companies out there. Before we get started on looking at the car, let's go look at that racetrack on the top of the building, because that sounds wicked. Now here's a racetrack on the roof, and I know it's a really crappy picture, but this was the clearest picture I could find of it, but that's just insane. Leave it to the Italians to, where do we need the racetrack? We need it on the roof. So they put it right on the roof, because what's the worst thing that could go wrong? I don't know, maybe fall off of the roof. But you're in a Fiat, it's an Italian car, so you'll probably break down before you get to the end of the corner. So, pretty smart nonetheless. So that's pretty much it for this car. There's really not much to look at, even though the car is fantastic. I mean, just look at it. It's Italian styling. The car's from 1980, and it looks pretty nice. Because, I don't know, the Italians, even though they don't know how to assemble cars, how to build them, or how to engineer them, they do know how to design them. So enough about this Fiat. We have spent a lot of time looking at this really old car, so now let's go look at an even older car. This is the 1969 Ford Brawner Hawk. It's an R-Class, pretty high up in the R-Class actually, and it has decent horsepower and it weighs only 1,400 pounds, so this thing is gonna fly. Let's see what the Forza Vista lady has to say.
In 1965, Brawner, faced with the new rear-engined Lotus Champ cars, began rebuilding a wrecked Brabham racer, disassembling it down to the frame. His team then built a steel tube chassis, installed a Ford motor, and formed a new body around it. They called it the Brawner Hawk. The wide body was mocked as a bathtub compared to the cigar-shaped competitors. Their transmission was old technology, and their driver was a rookie. But there were two things that even Brawner didn't see coming. The bathtub shape created massive downforce, and their driver, Mario Andretti, would be one of the greatest racers of all time. Piloted by Andretti, the Brawner Hawk went on to win the USAC Championship in 1965, 66, and 69, with the final year realizing Clint Brawner's dream, winning the Indy 500. The victory launched Andretti's career, with him eventually declared Driver of the Century by the Associated Press.
So this is basically a very old IndyCar, because it used to be the kart series that then in 2007 merged with the IndyCar series. So this is an old IndyCar that belonged to Mario Andretti. That's pretty cool. I cannot wait to just run this through the tracks, especially with those 3 wings in the back. That's gonna definitely give some downforce. So that's pretty neat. I had no idea this car. I'm kind of shocked by it. Pretty cool, actually. Let's go see what's next. This is a 2014 Jaguar number 14 Emil Frey GT3 Jaguar XK, and I totally forgot that Jaguars just race in the GT car series. This is an R827, has 600 horsepower, and unfortunately it's too heavy in my opinion. It's 2,822 pounds.
Grand Touring, or GT, is one of the most common types of sports car racing in the world. It's also one of the most competitive, featuring multiple classes of cars on the tracks simultaneously, vying for top honors. Most cars participating in the races are from top-tier automotive names like Ferrari, BMW, Aston Martin, and Corvette, who build vehicles specifically to race in the GT series. GT racing provides fans a chance to watch cars they might see on the street or even own compete head-to-head in extraordinary road racing facilities and temporary street circuits around the globe. What has made GT racing especially popular among fans over the years has been some of the epic showdowns between rival manufacturers. Most notably the Ford Mustang versus the Chevrolet Camaro in the 1960s, and the Shelby Cobra against the Ferrari 250 in the 70s.
And recently, the Ford GT started racing again, so that's pretty cool. And they actually beat Ferrari, which is even nicer. But I went to Sebring not too long ago, the 12 hours of Sebrings, and that race was amazing. It was super cool seeing all these different types of cars just battling it out in that endurance race. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at this car. Look at that massive wing. That is definitely going to give some downforce, and that sick rear diffuser. You could probably sit in the back of the car and eat your lunch on the wing. Look how much like the tires bulge out. That's pretty cool. So now let's hop inside, let's maybe rev the engine a couple times, and let's get out of here to the most exciting car in this car pack, maybe. Let's go check it out. Now, to me, this is the most exciting car in this car pack. Why? Because it's the baby McLaren. It's the entry car if you want to get into the McLaren supercar lifestyle. It's only $200,000. Yeah, only $200,000. So what a deal. Still a ton of money, but it has everything you need. It has close to 600 horsepower, it's mid-engine, and it weighs around 3,000 pounds. That's all you need in a supercar. And it has the performance to rival a 458 Ferrari. So what else do you want?
As the son of a service station owner in Auckland, New Zealand, Bruce McLaren grew up surrounded by cars. When he was 22, McLaren became the youngest racer ever to win a Grand Prix. His racing team would go on to be one of the most successful in Formula One history. Bruce McLaren's motto was no compromise. This philosophy would carry over to the McLaren production team, who are obsessed with perfection and quality. The McLaren Technology Center takes the company's famous attention to detail to the next level. Every room in the facility is custom built for the fanatical car builders. Even the cafeteria is specially designed to have lower air pressure so smells don't escape the area.
Ooh,
in 1992, they produced the fastest and most technologically advanced production car of its time, the legendary McLaren F1. Since then, McLaren's unrelenting quest for excellence has catapulted them to the forefront of supercar makers.
So forgive my language, but these people have an anal attention to detail. I mean, they're psychotic in a way. Because even the cafeteria, it's like, so smell doesn't get out. Who does that? Who cares about that? Well, McLaren does. So look, there's enough luggage space for stuff. So once again, this is a perfect supercar. It's affordable. It's a McLaren. It's exotic. It's British. It's painted orange. The back's kind of ugly. I do have to agree with that. I'm not sure. If I had the money, I don't think I would even buy this because the back is a little bit ugly. But then again, it's a McLaren. So who knows? If I had the money, absolutely I would get one. So now let's get back to truly the coolest car in this car pack. Big truck. Now here's the star of the Turn 10 Select DLC car pack. It's a number 24 Tankpool 24 racing truck. They have just gone mental. Who races this trucks? This is insane. Turn 10 has just thrown caution out the window, and they have brought us a truck that has 1,080 horsepower, has 3,600 pounds torque, weighs 12,000 pounds, and thankfully has a weight distribution of 60%. So that's not bad, considering that everything in the truck is like in the front. So I was expecting like maybe 80% of the weight in the front and then the rest in the back. But that's pretty well. That's pretty good for a truck. So let's go see what the Forza Vista lady has to say, because I don't even know what to expect.
There's not a much bigger spectacle than watching huge trucks battle on the track.
It doesn't even fit on the screen.
With origins in the United States, the FIA created the European Truck Racing Championship in 1985, and the sport has seen significant popularity.
They should have pulled out the camera just a bit.
Racing trucks look similar to the shipping vehicles they represent, but have all the trappings of a modern race car. With a minimum weight of 12,000 pounds, getting these beasts into gear requires special equipment. These trucks get lowered suspension, water-cooled disc brakes, roll cages, and sophisticated engine software that allows individual cylinder tuning for over 1,000 horsepower and 6,000 pound-feet of torque.
That's a lot.
Put these behemoths on race circuits designed for smaller vehicles, and you've got intense, competitive motorsport.
Okay, so we're not even going to bother looking at it. We're just going to take this right out to the track. I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so here we go. We're in the truck, and this is insane. I cannot even look past it. Oh my god. How am I going to see where I'm going? There's really no way to see through this car. I guess we're gonna, oh, I'm in the grass now. Okay, so I guess in-car is the only way to do it. We're gonna, oh god, how am I gonna slow this down? This is 12,000 pounds. They're gonna have to just drop a lot of speed, so brake hard. Oh, at least if you hit a car, you're definitely not gonna know. because you're not going to feel it. You're not going to lose any speed. This thing has about maybe 9,000 pounds on every other car in here, so that's good. But honestly, it handles pretty well. Look at that. It doesn't like, I thought it was going to weigh a lot from like, you know, the weight transfer when you brake and all the weight goes to the front and back and all that other stuff. But it seems to be handling it pretty well. Now, I did go baby mode in this. I put a lot of assist on it just because I didn't want to spin out testing it out. But it seems like it's decent enough where you can take all of the training wheels off and just run with it. Might not be a bad B-class. I mean, it doesn't have any speed. So as long as you have a very small track, we're in the circuit of the Catalonia. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right, but straight away it's gonna kill me here. I can already tell. But so far, it's pretty cool, honestly. I might have to go race this online and see what it can do. But overall, I'm happy they put this truck. I just hope people don't use it like to just troll people, because this will be the perfect trolling vehicle. If you just had a bad day, just get online and crash into somebody. But please don't do that. That ruins the game for everybody. So just watch out for this trucks. But this might honestly be a pretty good B-class car. I'll have to play with the setups and whatnot, but it doesn't slow down very well, but I mean, it is heavy, so what can you expect? Alright, so this was William from Rocket Zero. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button for us. Subscribe if you haven't, tell your friends. And as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.